Hey guys, or girls, how are y'all doing? So tonight what I want to do is give you a rundown on day packs. These are not backpacks. This is not what you would be camping with, but these are day packs. So it's something that you would be using for maybe leaving a campsite for the day, doing like shorter trips. And so this is not like you're going to be carrying all your gear. So here we go. I have show and tell for you. First thing I want to show you is what you're going to carry your water in. Okay, so what I use two different, these are called bladders, two different water bladders. This one is probably a 2-liter is what it is. And it slides, so you can get any kind, doesn't matter. But you just want something that's not super big. I use a 3-liter for backpacking, but I typically don't use a 2-liter for day packs unless it's like a really, really long hike. Okay. So, and you'll also notice there's something inside there. What that is it's paper towels. When I get done, okay, two things. I never put electrolytes in here. Okay. No electrolytes in my bladder because, well, especially for those of us in the South, it's going to get nasty. Things will grow. Doesn't matter how much you clean it, things will grow. So I will, once I get finished using it, I then dry it upside down, put some paper towels in there, and then dry it out a little bit more. You want to keep these super dry. And then what I do is to make sure that it actually stays clean is, let's see if I can do this with one hand. I'll go ahead and close it completely. And then, hang on, and then I blow it up. Okay, this makes it like a balloon. See, what that does is it keeps it from sticking together and getting, it'll get moldy if water sits in there. So that's your bladder. Okay, that's what they call this. And that is a 2-liter, perfect for day hiking. And then a 3-liter would be more for really, really long hikes or backpacking. I also use bottles for my electrolytes. This happens to be a bottle that is squishable. It goes in something I'm getting ready to show you. This is what I use for my electrolytes. They're less expensive than a bladder. If I don't get them clean enough, I don't get them clean enough, but I can use a little bottle brush in there to clean them out. And then when I get done, I just dry them out, set them upside down and dry them out. Either which way, if you're hiking, and we'll talk about this on another call, but think about electrolytes if you're doing some of this training for longer than maybe an hour in the summer. Depends on who you are, 45 minutes, maybe all you can take without electrolytes. So bladders, number 1. Number 2 is day pack. Okay. This is kind of embarrassing. But we're going to start from the smallest to the largest. Okay. This is a pretty small little day pack. It's not going to carry much. What you can carry in here is you put your bladder in here, right? It's going to hold my small bladder. It's going to hold some probably really, really old bars. Should be eaten. Sorry. It's going to have enough room in there for all the stuff I need for a day that I am not going to be worried at all about layers. Okay. If I'm going out and I'm doing a 3 to 6 mile or more, probably 3 to 6 mile hike, and I've got enough water in here. Let me think about my hours for a second. Probably for about 3 hours plus a hand bottle. I'd be able to carry a 2-liter in here. I'd be able to carry some snacks because I always want snacks, some sunscreen and some, a phone and some miscellaneous like that. There's also a little place down here for a couple more things. It's small, but here's my theory. My theory is just like a purse, we will fill up a backpack. We will fill up a day pack. We will, like, if we're given space, we will fill it up. I have had people show up on hikes before with 35-pound day packs because that's how much stuff they could get in there. And you really, I mean, there's a whole list in Training for Trails, but what you'll want to think about is your pack should be big enough to carry the things that you need, not big enough to carry a whole bunch of weight. Okay, so let me show you another option. This one is slightly bigger. Okay, so with this one, once again, it will carry, you know, my bladder. It will carry a layer, like when I say a layer, either maybe a raincoat or a light raincoat or a light base layer. Like there are times when you'll go out in different places where maybe you go out and you're wearing, let me make something up. I'm wearing a long sleeve, lightweight top and I'm heading out, and in that top, so I'm heading out, and hang on for 1 second. So Patty, I went ahead and just got started and I'm just talking to myself. So hang on for a second. Hang on.
Sorry.
Oh, wait, stop. Don't do that. Don't do that, Kelly. Okay, so today we're going to talk about day packs. Okay, and what we're talking about are day packs and not backpacks. Okay, backpacks are something where you're gonna go out overnight. You're gonna carry all your gear. Like these are big things. Day packs are going to be something that's going to take you for a 1, 2, 3, 6 mile hike. So a smaller thing. All right. First thing I want to talk about for a day pack is your water bladder. Okay. In a pack, all of these packs will hold a water bladder, and bladders come in different sizes and shapes, but basically this is about a 2-liter bladder. Okay. A 2-liter bladder should easily take you, depending upon how hot it is outside, for about a 3-hour hike. Okay. Depending. It also depends on electrolytes, and we'll talk about that in another call, but this will get you started. So on this bladder, 2 liters, I use a 3-liter in my backpack. I never put anything in here but water, because when you put electrolytes in here, if you don't get it absolutely pristine dry, you will end up with mold. You'll end up with a science experiment in there. You'll also see that I have something in there, paper towels. So when I finish on my hike, I will take this, I'll hang it upside down, I'll leave it open, I'll blow through it like that to blow the water out. Then I stuff paper towels in there, dry it out more. And then, because I'm paranoid of getting mold in my pack bladder, I will also, see if I can do this with one hand. We're going to pretend like I sealed that properly. I have it sealed and then I blow it up. Like a balloon. That will keep it from sticking together and getting any mold. So, and you know what? It's just good to take care of your bladders because they will last you forever. I mean, that one's probably 10 years old. So I've been using it forever, but you know, if you keep it dry and take care of it, it works. Then when you're using electrolytes, what you'll want is you'll want a separate bottle. So this is a collapsible bottle. It just so happens to go into a particular vest that I wear. I'll show y'all. You can also carry just a regular water bottle. It's something that you can scrub out with a bottle brush. So that allows you to not have nasty electrolyte extras, moldy stuff happening. And then at the same time, if you need to replace it, you can. A lot of us get these water bottles, just they give them out at bike races and runs and everything. So you end up with a ton of water bottles. So the first pack, I have a theory about packs. It has never, ever been disproven. The theory is just like a purse. The more space you have, the more you will fill it up. And so given that, like I literally had a guy show up on a hike one time with a 35-pound day pack. I ended up carrying that day pack back for him because he was having some problems. And after that, we don't carry, I just don't let people carry day packs like that on my hikes anymore. But so size of pack depends on how much you bring. Okay. This one is super little, right? It's a little bitty pack. It will hold my bladder. Bladder slides in here. It'll hold a couple of little extra things down here, sunscreen, whatever. Up here, it's got plenty of space. Has some probably really old bars in it that should get eaten. Sunscreen, it holds a lot of, it holds things like that in there. So hang on, let me let a couple of people in so that, okay. All right, ladies, I am going ahead and just starting on this one. So I'm just going to let you catch up, and I will have the replays for everybody. The replays will be in the portal because, yeah, because we didn't put them in the other day. So just so you know, replays will be in the portal. So this is a nice size day pack for maybe say you're going to go out for 2 to 3 hours. It carries snacks, it'll carry your sunscreen, it'll carry, you know, whatever the little things are that you need. Doesn't need to be very big. For those of you who just jumped on, I'm going to go ahead and say this. My theory about packs, and these are day packs, is that you want the smallest pack you can get without having to not be able to carry what you need. So this is more of a summer pack. All right. And the reason I say that is that if I'm going somewhere and it's cold, it's winter, I'm going somewhere that has a big degree of variant between low and high for the temperatures. Like I've been places where the variant is 40 degrees or more between ground and high. You'll want to be able to carry some extra gear. And we will definitely talk about that on another call when we just talk about what to take, but different packs for different situations. All right, we're going up like in the, we're going up in increasing size. That's what we're going to do. We're starting with the very small Russian doll and we're going to go up. This pack doesn't look very big. It has a lot more space. This is one of the things about packs is when you look at them, you really want to see like how much space they have in them, where your bladder's going to go. Like in here, the bladder goes inside there. So does the other stuff, like the stuff like sunscreen and, hang on just a second, sunscreen, extra things to wear. Other tricks on these things is having a finding my buff I hadn't seen in a while. I was looking for that. Sorry. And so finding like having space for stuff. So this was something that I used a lot for a long time. You'll notice that one of the things about these day packs is, see how you've got this stuff here? That's so you can slide maybe a top in there that you want to just carry on the outside. Other things, we'll talk about things that you want to carry, but you'll notice that a lot of these have the ability to adjust amazing. Like this one actually goes on like so, and it's worn like a vest instead of just on the back. So then you'll have like little pockets in the front. You can actually, these pockets in the front will actually carry a bottle. So I don't have a bottle sitting here in front of me, but let's pretend like this is one of my water bottles. it would slide in there and carry it that way. So when you're looking at these packs, you just want to kind of get a feel for all the things that are happening in them. There's a ton of stuff, and you want to make sure it's comfortable. Okay. Like that's the big trick on all of these packs is comfort. And I'll tell y'all what, please ask questions. Since it's just us, ask questions if you have questions. Yeah, I mean, this is actually a really nice pack. I just don't wear it as much anymore because, go figure, Kelly bought another pack. Some people have shoes, some people have packs. So this is another pack, just like that one, except what it looks like, if you look at it, it's a vest, right? Like it literally wears like a vest. And ta-da. And then, okay. So I'll take an extra couple of minutes because this is my new favorite. So this is my new favorite pack. But it doesn't look super sexy, but it's extraordinarily comfortable, like ridiculously comfortable. Yeah. So here's the back like that, but let me take it off and show you the back. So now, in all honesty, I don't think this one's going to last as long as some of my other ones because it's a little bit lighter. It weighs nothing. It weighs nothing. But my, it's kind of hard to tell black on black. There is a big compartment here. Okay, there's a huge compartment here. My bladder actually slides, once again, it's so hard to see. My bladder slides in here where my hand is. So your bladder has its own little place to live. And then you've got all of these pockets, like this slides into the pocket. Now, of course, it's a little mushy without anything in it, but it slides in those front pockets so that I can keep my electrolytes in there. There's space for treats because you never want to go anywhere without treats, do you? And then space for everything else. Surprisingly huge amount of stuff that fits in here. Okay. This one's by, since I'm now doing a commercial for it, this one's by Solomon. And it is one of the packs out there that if you decide you want something like this, you really want to try it on. Like these other packs that I showed you, I can pretty much adjust them to fit me. These guys come in like small or extra small, medium, and extra large. So you really want to make sure that you've got the right one for you. It's more of a runner's pack, but it's my go-to day pack now. Now, while I'm at it, I'll stop in a minute, but I've got a couple more to show you. This was a relatively inexpensive one that I purchased just to, I don't even know why. I think I just needed it for something. It has a lot of space. This is the kind that I was warning you about. I could take this thing, I could fill it up and probably make it weigh 25 pounds without batting an eye because there's so much space in here. But the good thing about it is if you're traveling, let's say you're doing a trip, doing Costa Rica. I'm doing a Costa Rica trip and I know that I'm going to be hiking one day. I'm also going to need to have a change of clothes and I'm going to need to have some water and snacks for the afternoon. And then, you know, I may be doing something else that afternoon. This is the perfect kind of pack for that because I'd be able to carry all of my stuff in it and, you know, just switch over. This is a whistle compass is what this is. And thermometer, little kind of bit of a combo. A lot of the packs that are a little bit nicer will actually have, let me show you, on your front snap, they'll actually have a whistle. This one does not have a whistle. So, and I know it's in the list that I gave y'all, but anyway, I carry a whistle. Actually, I just lied. It does have a whistle. It has a whistle in the buckle. Not a great whistle, but see how the buckle, has that little snip right there? That's got a, it has a whistle in it. All right, hang on. This is a little bit of a less organized talk I'm giving tonight. Sorry. So what I'm going to do is actually redo this, and I'll redo it when it's just like clear. But for right now, ask questions, okay? Since this is just going to be a replay, ask questions. Things that you should know about packs like this. First question is, does Kelly know anything about a pack like this? I only used it a couple of times, so I really don't know. But a lot of these packs, actually, I'm going to show you on the next one because I can definitely show you on the next one. Things that you want to look at. If you're going to get a pack, let's think about this for just a second. So if I'm going to have a day pack and I'm going out for 6 to 8 hours, that day pack that I'm going to wear is either going to be that black Solomon that I showed you because it's super comfortable, or it's going to be a pack with a waist belt. Okay. And I'm going to show you a good waist belt and a bad waist belt. Okay. So this one, hang on, let me get that arm in there. I think I'd had a cast on it or something. So this one has a bad waist belt. I don't know if you can see this, but see how thin that strap is? That strap really does nothing. Hang on, let me let somebody in. So the strap doesn't really do anything because it's so slender and lightweight that it really just, all it does is just sit there on my waist and stays tight. So I'm going to show you a better option for this. All right, first though, I'm going to stop. I feel like I'm being a little bit of a circus here. So Patty, since you were here at the very beginning, do you have any questions? Like, am I going too fast here? No. Oops, you're pulling a Lee. You're talking, but you're not unmuted. Sorry, Lee.
Okay. Okay. No, I'm fine. I'm doing okay, Kelly. I'm understanding. I mean, yeah, and I feel like I would be doing the same thing if I were you. But as far as going back and forth. But no, I'm right there with you. I have no questions. Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions so far? On here. Okay. All right. Lee's like, I don't even know what you're talking about. That's that look you have on your face.
No. I asked what a bladder was. I know that you went over this time.
Okay. Let's talk. No, let's talk
I didn't
about
know
bladders.
what's a bladder, man.
It's the thing that fills your bladder that you've got inside. Definitely want to know about these. So let's I'm just going to touch on this so y'all know. Okay. So let me first empty my bladder. Okay. So bladders, this is a bladder. It's a, this one's a 2 liter. So a 2 liter bladder is pretty good for, 2 liters will take you about 3 hours in the heat, maybe a little bit further if you're using electrolytes also, which you should be if you're doing 3 hours. But that's this one. You can use a 3 liter bladder. It's probably a little overkill on a lot of these hikes, but like, I don't know, going to Costa Rica, I haven't thought about if I'm going to take a 3 or a 2 liter. Most likely I'll just take a 2 liter because I'm pretty darn sure that we're going to be like close to places to refill. But if you think you're not going to be somewhere to refill, then you want a bigger one. But 2 liters and a separate bottle for your electrolytes. Okay. You definitely want your electrolytes in a separate bottle simply because if you put them in your bladder and you live in the South, your bladder is going to turn into a science experiment because you can never get them quite dry enough. So you definitely want to, keep them as dry as possible. So that's a bladder. Any other questions? Okay. All right. So this is actually not mine. Okay. I got one like this and I gave it to the Boy Scouts because it was too big for me. But what I want to show you a couple of things about this. It's a really nice pack. It's a little too big for a day pack, and it's a little too small for a backpack. But as you can see in here, it has, see these, this is what goes around your waist. It sits on your hips. Super comfortable, okay? Like if you're gonna get something with a hip pad, that's called hip pads. If you're gonna get something with hip pads, get something that's comfortable like this. Don't get that scrawny little thing that I bought for some unknown reason. Get something that feels like it has a little padding. It's got a little width to it. It's stylish and gorgeous. It has a little bit of, it has like sides on it where it's got pockets. The other thing you can do with this, and Sarah is going to watch this later, so I just want to talk to Sarah for just a second. So these things are adjustable, all right? Like all of us are a little bit different in height. We would all probably wear the same size pack because you can adjust the height quite a bit. And the way you adjust the height when you get a pack like this is you actually come in here to the back and you'll see that, as you can hear, this is, hang on. Let me fight with my pack for just a second. So this will move up and down according to the how much Velcro is holding it. So in the end, you know what? I just realized this is the first time I've tried to do this on tape. It's a little different on tape. Standing in front of a crew. What I want y'all to see is something. From the side, when you have this, let me tighten it. All right, so it's sitting about where it should be sitting on me. I don't want this either hanging way back like it is. See how it's kind of hanging off me? And I don't want it coming so far forward that it's hitting my head. So I can tell that this pack is just slightly too long for me because I have adjusted it. I'm going to show you the bottom. It's sitting on my hips where it belongs, right? And then when I sit down, I've still got way too much. I don't know if you can see this. Way too much up here. So sometimes people in stores will try and get you to adjust this a lot, which you can. These are very adjustable. You can pull it down. But at the same time, you never want to have all this hand space up here. People in stores will tell you, oh, that's okay. Once you put stuff in it, it'll be heavy and it'll just sit back down like it belongs. Don't believe them. Okay, I'm just going to tell you that. Get something that sits on you well while it is empty so that it sits on you even better when it's full. This particular pack is a little bit big for a big day, but right this second, if I was to walk out the door and go on a, I don't know, a really hard 6-mile hike, I would probably take this one because it has enough space for everything that I would need. Stopping. Okay, I feel like I just went all over and confused you guys more. So let me just give you some simple things. You need a good bladder, okay? Your bladder can be either 2 liters or 3 liters. That's the size they come in, generally. Every so often you'll find one that's 1 liter. Don't bother. It is a do not bother. So you need a good liter bladder, 2 liter bladder at least. You need some sort of bottles. You can go fancy with the little Wild Up ones that I have that go inside my vest, or you can just get those basic plastic bottles. They're about the same size as a bottle of water that you buy at the grocery store, and just carry that or put them in there also. You need something that's going to carry the gear that you need to carry. The gear, and that sounds kind of nebulous, but the gear that you need to carry will vary according to what you're doing and where you're going. I have put in the, if you look in the chat, there is a link to where the Training for Trails is. You can just grab that link, download it whenever you want. We are still in the process of redoing that because we had one more redo this last weekend, and it's still not exactly what I think I figured out a way to make it a little less cumbersome, but there is a something in there that gives you all the things that you need. So the other thing about your pack is you just want it to be comfortable. Okay, you really do. You don't want it to rub. You don't want it touching any exposed skin. Because let's say that I'm walking along and I'm wearing my sports bra and my backpack and my pack is here, it's going to rub me raw. There's just no way around it. So you don't want it hitting any exposed skin. And Lindsay, just look at the very top of the chat and you'll see, you should be able to see it there. It should be at the very top of the chat, the link. So your pack, you want it to be small enough that you don't stuff it, large enough that will take you wherever you want to go. Once you start doing more trails, my suggestion is going to be that you're probably going to want more than one pack. But for right now, starting out with something that just feels good. The running pack, like the black one that I showed y'all, it does tend to fit a little small. So, okay, hang on. Let me stop for a second. Okay, why can you guys, you know, I'm gonna put it in here again. Hang on. Let me grab this link. I'm gonna add it again. Can you see it now? Can y'all see the links? Lee, you got it? Thank you. Okay. I don't know why it wasn't showing up earlier. Maybe it was just, maybe it's a strange thing. Maybe if you come after I put a link in there, you don't see it. I have no idea. So that running pack that I showed you, it does tend to run small, just so y'all know. They are very, very comfortable. The next one up, I would suggest, if you're looking for something, would be probably the one I was making fun of. Sorry. That would probably be the next one up I'd suggest after that running pack. Because they do fit differently. And if you have, if you got more of a chest, they're going to fit differently than if you have less of a chest. Same thing with shoulders. So just know that if at all possible, try some on. Probably the best place for most people is if there's an REI in your neighborhood or in your area. People who work there usually have I'd give them a B, kind of a solid B for being able to fit you in a good pack. Right now, a lot of them, their job is to sell whatever they've got. So just know that there's probably less packs out there than there would be for maybe a couple of years ago. So just be aware that you might want to kind of pay attention to what kind of pack you're getting and what type of pack they're selling you. A day pack is the thing that I'd say you want to buy first before anything else, because you're going to need it. If you're doing trails, you're going to need a pack. So boots, shoes, poles, all of those things will come later. I have my poles with me in case anybody wants to see. But basically what you should know about poles is that they are adjustable. So this is like a circus. So they do adjust, okay? Poles adjust. They do come in sizes, all right? So I think the majority of the people on this call are probably a little bit shorter than me. So let's just make something up. So two hands are more helpful at times, trust me. And I may not be able to do this. I might have to have, there we go. So when you're hiking, when you're doing your pole, what you want is you want Kelly to wear a different shirt. You want a 90-degree angle here. Okay. So in that 90-degree angle comes from the bottom of your pole being on the ground. Okay. So my pole's on the ground and I've got about a 90-degree angle. So that means that you just adjust it until you get to the place that it needs to be. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The other thing is that cork is really nice so that if your hands sweat at all, this is actually not even cork. This is like fake cork. I don't know what it is, but it works. Like it definitely works. And when you put them on, you slide in from the top like so, and then so that you're resting like this. So that's what a pole does. And they become really helpful if you're in uneven territory. If you know that the possibility of you falling is there. The last race I did was a trail race. I took my poles. I knew that I wasn't properly trained. It was going to hurt a whole lot and that I was probably going to fall. And all those things happened, but the poles helped. And they also help, like when you're going up, they will take some of the pressure off of your back and off of your legs. And when you're going down, they will take the pressure off of your knees. So that's a really big thing. And this is like poles in 3 minutes. Sorry, y'all. But, and I can dive into them a little bit more in the future, but just so you know, poles, that's where poles really help. Like if a couple of things, when you're going down, I'm going down a steep incline. Probably what I'm thinking of is the darn stairs at Yosemite. So it's like a 6-mile hike and half of it is stairs. So I don't know why they decided to do that to people, but they did. So when you're going down, you lengthen your pole so that, because if you think about it, like you're standing like this, you want to lengthen it because it's going to be a further distance down to the ground. And so you lengthen your pole and then you use those poles to take the weight off your knees as you go down. It's also why in the training manual, there's going to be training for your upper body, because if you don't train your triceps and then you do a really long hike that involves going down 6 miles after you've gone up 6 miles, then your triceps are going to basically want to fall off the next day. Because if you think about it, you're going to have been using them all the way down. So you really do use arms on some of these hikes, and arms come in the shape of your poles. So, and I'm not trying to terrify anybody. Okay. I'm just like better prepared than not prepared. Poles also just help if you've got anything going on with your knees, your ankles, you know, anything from the waist down that's bothering you. Poles will help take some of that pressure off. Okay, I'm going to stop. Questions? Anyone have questions? Nope. Okay. All right. Then, okay. Lee, see you. I'm getting ready to wrap up. What I am going to do, just so y'all know, I will reshoot this one smooth, continuous show and tell so that you've got it in the portal. But for right now, the replay will be in there. But yeah. Thanks for being there. All right, I'm going to stop and ask, I guess, since I've got Patty, Gloria, and Lindsay, do any of you guys have any questions? Patty, I know you poor Patty's had to watch me do this twice now.
So for some reason my camera's off, Kelly.
Okay.
This is Gloria.
Okay.
I can't figure out why. But anyway, so you have 2 poles, is that correct?
You do have 2 poles, but I only have one hand right now, so.
Yeah, okay.
I only should tell, but you're correct.
Okay.
In fact, that's a brilliant question. And I really thank you for asking me that. You will see people out on the trail with 1 pole.
Mm-hmm.
It is a why bother. Use 2 poles. Okay. You've got 2 poles, use 2 poles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you for asking that question, Gloria.
Okay.
Yeah. Patty, oh wait, Lindsay? Yeah, you have a question?
So that no walking sticks.
Walking sticks work. How do I say that? Okay, here's the pros and cons. The pros, they're easy. People cut them when they're out on the trail, and they make a walking stick and they use it. The cons is it doesn't give you the ability to make it longer or shorter.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you're going up a hill, obviously, if you're making it longer when you go down, you're going to shorten it when you go up. You can't do that with a walking stick. People like them, but personally, I'm just going to say personally, I would think, why do that when you could get a good set of poles that are lighter and more versatile, and they're going to do what you need them to do. So that's my opinion.
The poles keep both sides of you balanced as well.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
I just like my stickers on my poles.
Well, so that is a thing. Like a pole is it's a thing. I don't know even what the right word is. Like usually you see it with people who would like to have stickers on a pole, or like to have, it looks cool. Like poles are cool. They really are. They look a whole lot better than my nasty, dirty hiking poles that I've been dragging around. But when you're using a walking stick, and I say poles, I mean a walking stick, it just doesn't have the versatility, the lightweight, and everything else that you get when you use a pair of 2 poles. And also, like, poles come in aluminum or carbon fiber. And these are aluminum. My old ones were carbon fiber, and there's not a huge difference in weight. There is a big difference between a walking stick and poles.
Yeah, but at times I can't carry my walking stick, so it would be better. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Patty?
No, actually, no. It's the thing that sounds better about the poles too, with the fact that they're more versatile. You can pull them up and pack them easier.
You can,
yes.
yes, actually, that's a really good point. Like you can actually pack them down to carry them on a plane.
Mm-hmm.
A pole, like we just looked at a pole for Phil's dad. We were at a place in the Carolinas that they make all this beautiful woodworking.
Mm-hmm.
There's this beautiful pole, and we were like, Phil's dad. Well, Phil's dad lives in Canada, and we both came to our senses and went, there's no way we can get this pole to him because we can't even ship, you can't even carry it in your bag. Carry on, yeah. But I mean, they're beautiful. Yeah. Gloria, you've got a question?
Yes, I do. So I just wanted to summarize things you look for in poles. It's adjustable. It's lightweight. It has that arm strap thing. A cork handle. Am I missing anything?
No. In fact, the truth is that whether it's aluminum or carbon fiber, it's going to be lightweight. These just don't weigh anything. They're going to all be, if you buy a hiking pole, they're going to all be adjustable to some degree. Some of them, just so you know, and I don't have a pair of these, they fold up, right? They've got like a line going through them, and you pull them and you fold them into I don't know, somebody give me words for it, accordion, right? It works. In my world, the less moving pieces, probably the better it's going to be. They'll last longer. They should all have the straps. These straps are adjustable. Okay. So like once I put my hand through there, right? See, I'm a little low. Well, a little bit. So I can take this and pull this cord right here. Tighten it up. And now I'm a little higher. Okay. So they should all have the ability to tighten. There may be poles out there that don't have that ability, but they should have that ability. Okay. And then I got cheap when I bought these. I really did. I just got cheap one day. And I didn't buy a pair with a really nice cork handle. So this, like I said, is kind of, it's fake cork. I don't know what it is. It works. It works. I think that if I'm ever going to upgrade, I will actually upgrade to a nice cork handle. So it's just kind of it is a little bit about what you want to spend, because poles you can spend, I don't know, you could probably spend $80 on the line, and you can probably spend $200 online, or like you can probably find something online for $80. You can walk into Whole Earth Provision or REI and spend $250. Like poles are not cheap. I mean, they're not going to break you, but at the same time, it's one of those things that for me, I think my bet is probably I spent $120 on these, and they were probably on sale. So go to REI when they're having a sale. That's what you should remember. Go to REI when they're having a sale. And so, yeah, did that answer your question, Gloria? Okay. All right. And then in the end, your poles, they're going to last for a long time. Like really, my pair, the carbon fiber pair I bought, I did buy them online. They had great reviews. They didn't last. So don't tell anyone I gave them to Phil, because they were kind of crappy. And then I bought myself a pair. I did.
Oh, that's bad.
Here, honey, I have a gift for you. Oh, so yeah. Okay. I'll stop. I'm going to embarrass myself now. All right. Anything else about packs or poles? I guess if I'm going to give you like the bottom line, go out and try some packs on, but don't like agree to not purchase that day. Because it's just, you might want to try a couple of them on. When you put them on, walk around the store in it. You know, make sure that you know all of the things that you can adjust on it, because like that vest I have is not adjustable. The only thing that vest will do is will get bigger in the front. So like I could get some breasts and it would get bigger, but that's all it's going to do. It's not going to change its size anywhere. But this other one, the big one I was showing, you can change a lot of it. You can make it shorter, a shorter torso, longer torso. You can make the straps longer. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can do with these, but you just, it's good to have someone show you, like just show you what the tricks are. And really, truly, REI is usually the game in town that has stuff like this in most big cities, so that you can, look at them and play with them. But remember, like if you go to REI, you're not looking for a backpack. You want a day pack for day hiking, because otherwise you're going to walk out of there with a $200 backpack, and then you're going to have like too much space. And I guess the other thing you should think about is these aren't cheap. Like that's the darn thing about them, is they're not inexpensive. So you can also go to, now in the South, we have something called Academy, which is kind of like the low end REI. And sometimes they'll have things like that first one I showed you. It's going to take me an hour to put all these packs up. This one, this is made by Camelback. They were the original ones. You might be able to find something like this at Academy. And I mean, totally nice, totally usable for a 3-5 mile hike. Totally. So, and if you get a wild hair and you're out shopping, and you're wondering if you want to take pictures of something and send it to me on my text, if I am paying attention to my phone, I will look, because I have a penchant for gear to begin with, and I also like want people to get the right stuff. So you're welcome to do that. What else? Anybody? No? All right, this is going once, going twice. I will make a cleaned up video so that, it's kind of like smooth. Okay, Patty, you're out of here. Good luck with your bladder. And yes. And I'm just going to say goodnight to everybody. Okay. Unless y'all have anything else. Thank you, Lindsay. So y'all have a wonderful evening. I'll clean this up and then we'll get it into the portal for you. See you later. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.